This is what you don't want to happen when you're on a road trip. Something is wrong with some piece of plastic or whatever near my bumper. It's just kind of dragging. I'm not sure if it's dragging so much on the ground or it's dragging near my tire. Let's take a look. Whew. All right, so there I was somewhere in Texas, and on my way to Austin, trying to figure out what the heck was going on with my car. Obviously, I figured something out because I'm here now, right? But now here, figuring out your life is your whole life. And that's what one of my friends told me. My friend Amanda, she moved here, I think about a year and a half ago. And she has been really trying to figure out her thing out here too. And she's right. I feel like I wake up in the morning and at least once a week I'm having an existential crisis. I'm trying to figure out, what am I doing here? And, most of the time I can just think, pretty quickly to what I was doing the day before or whatever and say, oh yeah, well, let me keep working on that. But a lot of times I'm just kind of still repeating it to myself, trying to figure out, what am I going to do after I finish eating breakfast? Because there's really not a very set thing that I can say, this is what I'm doing from day to day. It's very sporadic. And being able to call audibles and change plans on the fly has never been a strong suit for me. I'm really good at the long game. I'm good at strategizing for the long term. And here, just, having to be able to change things up is a daily demand, And so now I'm trying to make it a point to pull that together for myself and not, freak out about it. But when I first got here, I came here with a plan. I told myself, all right, I've done the freelance thing before. I know I just need to come up with a new network, right? I got to build my network again. And so that means going and hitting the pavement, introducing myself to people, letting them know I'm here, staying on people's radar as much as I can, and letting them know, I'm available. But what I ended up running into very quickly was that people here in this market do not want someone who does a bunch of different things. Coming from the East Coast, I had business cards printed up, 500 of them right before I left, that introduced me as a director, an editor, a DJ, and I quickly came to realize that that was not going to work and had to throw them all away. People here really want you to be a specialist. They want you to focus on one thing and that one thing really well, because they're meeting 1,000 people a day who are coming here and trying to do something, and they want to be able to know that when they think about you, they have that one thing that they're going to know you can do, that they can call you for, they can refer other people to you for. And if you got a bunch of different things going on, that dilutes that, remembering of you, their memory of you. And it's also looks as if you don't know what you want to focus on. It looks like you're not really a master of any of these things. You're just a jack of all trades. So for me, that's meant cutting back, talking about my editing experience and my other experiences, and just talking about cinematography, just talking about my pursuits and my aspirations towards being a director of photography. And that, as much as I love that, and I love that, not being able to do editing or pursue editing as a financial pursuit, financial leverage point, has been really difficult. That was my plan when I got here, was to really just jump into editing as a freelancer or working, wherever. And, in the meantime, while I'm doing that, build my way up as a cinematographer. But, the fact of the matter is that on one hand, people, want to be able to put you in that one box and keep you there, and they're not going to be so, willing to want to have you to switch you in their minds. And you got to go through telling everybody that you're, that you're doing something different, that you've met and all that. then, of course, their confidence in you making that switch isn't going to be as strong as someone who's been doing that one thing all the time. Uh, and then with editing, just because of the nature of it, it's going to eat up a lot of time. It's going to mean not having the time to get out there and experiment with my camera as much. It's going to mean, spending a lot of time just trying to stay competitive in editing as a professional. So I have to, take that step back and stop going after editing gigs. And I've seen what editors can make out here, and that really sucks. So I'm just trying to focus now on, putting myself out there more as a cinematographer and as a videographer. And so, every day I go back and forth about it. I go back and forth about, trying to edit on the side and then, keep shooting and all that stuff. And so right now it's just a mind game. Right now it's just a battle of the mind every day to just stay focused on what I need to do. And especially being so far away from what I want to do right now, it's hard with it not being easy to materialize in front of me or to imagine in front of me that I have to now, continue to reel myself in and suppress this area of potential, especially earning potential, let alone creative and professional potential, to allow this other part of me to be able to grow and to be fully explored. And so I, as much as that's been difficult, I've made it a point to try to, get with the shift that I'm making now and try to adapt. And so in that, I've come up with 4 areas that I've decided I want to focus on right now, that I feel like if these 4 areas are being maintained, then I'm going in the right direction. I'll be ready when, whatever is supposed to happen or whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And so those 4 areas, I call them my 4 parallels, because I want to remind myself that these are things that should be happening simultaneously. And those 4 things are sanity, creating, fundraising, and networking. And what that means is, sanity for me is all of my holistic health, my spiritual health, my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health, my social health, and my financial health. At least like my fundamentals in my finances, because we all know when money ain't right, a lot of things go crazy. So thinking about all that stuff, right? Then considering my creating, the creating parallel is all about making it a point to be creating things regardless of having no budget. Just considering what are my resources right now and what are my ideas and what can I do to express that and to experiment right now. Because, of course, I can't wait for somebody else to tell me to create something in order to fully express some of my ideas. And I also can benefit from it just because I may have come up with something or practiced something that somebody else later on will ask me to do, and I'll be, better at it for that time that I spent just trying things out. And I know I can create great stuff just with what I already have available to me. And so I want to be, pursuing that as much as I can. And then there's fundraising, right? Fundraising is where I'm actually making it a point to intentionally put money towards my talent and, crew and equipment and whatever permits and all that type of stuff, to put together more elaborate productions, stuff that's more polished and more expressive on a larger scale, maybe, or in a more intricate way towards what it is that I want to express. And that's where, again, I'm able to create something without another person telling me how I should go about doing it, but being able to fund it myself and be able to put it out there to share with everyone at the fullest quality that I think that it can, achieve. Then, of course, there's my networking. That's, of course, getting out and talking to people, meeting people, finding what other people are doing taking interest in what other people are doing, and sharing what I'm doing as well. And, that's something that is just as important as fundraising, but it's not as important as creativity, creating, and sanity for me, because I feel like if I'm not already taking care of myself and my sanity, if I'm not already creating, then I'm not ready to go and talk to somebody else about, what I'm interested in doing with them and, all that stuff. I got to get myself together first, right? So how am I doing in those areas right now? As far as my sanity, it's tough. It's tough right now. I haven't found a church home yet, as far as my spiritual health goes. I've met some good believers, some cool people who've been really great about keeping up with me, which is really cool. But I haven't found a church home yet. Been to a bunch of places, still have a few to go check out. And I'm, of course, trying to do my best to be studying and prayer and meditation, for my own sake as well. Physically, I'm just kind of doing the bare minimum. Yeah, I'm trying to make it a point now to, I get health benefits from my job, so just got, officially approved to get enrolled and stuff, finishing my probation period with my job. So I'm about to jump into that full steam ahead. And we also get, other, wellness benefits and stuff. So going to take advantage of that stuff coming up too. And, I kind of just sleep when I need to. I eat when I need to. Right now I'm working like I'm working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, just trying to, keep things going. Make sure I'm able to buy food and be able to get some other stuff done, pursue these things, do what I came out here to do. Right. So, I'm just doing my best with the physical stuff. Mentally, it's tough because I'm spending a lot of time by myself. And that means a lot of time up here, which can be really scary. But nonetheless, I'm also making it a point to spend more time with my friends as much as possible. Usually on my day off, I take one day off and I take that really seriously and try to make it a point to connect with somebody on that day. And that's been going really well. I'm so glad to have my friends out here. I'm financially, I'm just making just trying to get enough stuff, enough money in every month to get things done. I haven't quite gotten a rhythm yet for my income yet, but I'm working at the Apple Store. I'm driving for Uber. I'm driving for Lyft. I stopped driving for Postmates. And I am, doing my freelance stuff. Freelance is, kind of coming and going here. I've had to miss some great opportunities in order to keep, my schedule at the Apple Store. And, it's a trade-off I have to accept right now. I'm completely fine with that because it's a worthwhile trade-off. And so it's come along. It's been 5 months, so I gotta take it easy and not stress that too much. I'm still saving money regardless of how poor I am. So that's a good sign, right? So that's my sanity right now. I'm creating things, and that's really good. That's really good. I of course, most recently released my first cinematic wedding film. Shout out to Sarita and Steven. And now I'm working on a commercial concept that I shot back in October. I'm working on editing that now. Shout out to my man, Steven Swinson. And I am, working on some other things here. Recently shot a short film with a after school program, teen program, in my neighborhood. And I'm, working on some other things, hoping some other things will develop over the summer which, things take longer than I would hope, but at the same time, I'm okay with the long game. I can do that, right? So that's coming along. The, fundraising stuff. Like I said, right now, there's not even room to really be thinking about that. As far as there's no room to be actually putting money towards that. I'm definitely thinking about it, obviously, but not really room to put money towards it right now. But it's something I'm pushing towards, right? Constantly trying to figure out how can I maximize my time to put more to, generate more money and still keep my flexibility in my schedule and all that stuff. So I'm doing that. And that's why, again, the editing, and then, all right, let's not go back there. So, the networking has been great. Being able to get out and meet people. I never did this back home like this. You just wouldn't. I'm able by driving for Uber and Lyft, during the days that I'm not at the Apple store. I'm just part-time at the Apple store and on purpose so that I can have these days off. I can make it a point to just meet up with people and just, get to know what they're up to and let them know what I'm up to and all that stuff and just connect. And that's been great. I got my first, freelance gig off of just connecting with somebody. And things just, I've gotten other, referrals for stuff because of people that I've met. I might have just met them one time, but after that, things started to roll. And so I know that's where it is. And so that's been really great. Been meeting some really cool people, really helpful people, really sincere people who just want to help, another person pursue their dreams out here. And that's been really great. And so now, kind of having these 4 things that I know I want to focus on, it's helping me to be more aware. I know where I'm doing well, and I see in other areas where I'm really slacking, or just completely missed the fact that this thing wasn't really going anywhere. And, trying to just kind of pull it all together, keep it somewhat organized, somewhat streamlined into some kind of path and intention. And that's been going great. So I would love to hear your ideas. How do you keep your goals intact with all the distractions that life wants to throw at you, and with all the other responsibilities that you have, right? Hit me on my email. Hit me, for my site. You can just hit me on the contact page. You can hit me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. And let me know how you're doing too. I miss a lot of you guys out there. Not all of you, you know who you are. But no, really, I love you guys. I miss you. Looking forward to when we get to see each other again in person and all that good stuff. All right. I hope you're doing well. God bless. Peace.